All right, everybody, welcome back here to day one at Clover Cup 2019. We're going to have some juniors JRDA action happening here for this next game as we have the Rolling Rebellion up against Tulsa's Derby Brats. I am P. Armageddon.
I'm Mary Chaos.
And we're going to go ahead and read our rosters off for you real quick. Mary, would you please introduce us to the Tulsa Derby League?
Tulsa Derby League. We've got 013 Harley Quinn, 016 Brawley Ringwald, 10 Yeti, 13 Princess Pain, 16 Turtle, 187 Foxy Dash, 27 Troublemaker, 31 Blonde Bomber, 4 Hurricane AJ, 5 Two Braids, 55 Alfie, and 9 Shut Up and Listen.
And for the Rolling Rebellion in blue, number 10 is Cutie Killer, number 1102 Acid Rain, 13 is Lucky Devil, 16 Gigabyte, 17 is Lex Lethal, 314 is Leopard, 333 is Landlord, 415 Wither, 4372 is Be Reckless, 44 Nitro, 47 Revenge of the Sith, 5 is What's Crackin', 555 Jack from Skate Farm, and number 8 is Lunatic.
Excellent. Our skating officials for this game are Shanksy, Atom Smasher, Dilly Gaff, RDFM, Vanilla Vice, Super Saiyan 5, Anakin Sky Skater, and Jesse Jack.
And our non-skating officials, Manda Panda, Just Eric, Uberlicious, Ricochet, Allison, The Doctor, Wolverine, Dr. Dreidel, Lucky the Irish, and Primeval.
Excellent. We've got just about a minute left until roller derby. This is the only junior game today.
Yes.
Indeed.
So looking forward to seeing the younger generation of derby skaters get at it here on the track.
I have watched a lot of junior derby.
So
being from an area of the world that has a very thriving program. I have not seen either one of these teams before.
I have seen Tulsa once. I've not seen Rolling Rebellion, so this should be interesting on both counts to see both of these teams. They look like they're both pretty excited to get on, so we're going to do intros here in the arena. So it's been a pretty fun day so far here at Clover Cup.
It's been pretty crazy.
That last game was quite amazing.
I was happy to see the close game. We've had a couple games that started really close in the first half, and then a couple power jams happen, and one team would run away. That last game, man, they were trading the penalties back and forth, and that kind of kept it even too. And just every time Crossroads would get a little bit ahead, Assassination would adjust, and vice versa.
Oh, yeah, it was a very, very close game. Those are always the funnest ones both to watch, I think, and to call.
Absolutely.
And even, I guess, to skating if you're a skater, because you want to have that good competitive action. So I would think. I'm not a skater. You're a skater. You would know more than I would, so yeah.
Yes and no. Like, you want a little bit more of a cushion.
True.
Like, I like a good, 10 to 20 point spread.
Yeah.
So that way it keeps you on your game.
True.
But you're not like, oh, gosh, at any moment it could all slip away.
So as we said, this is our first juniors game of the weekend. We still have 2 more days of derby to go after this. We have one more game following us here today to wrap up day 1 here at Clover Cup.
Yeah, the game coming up after this is actually Dallas B team versus the Pikes Peak B team. I wish I knew what because I know that they have names.
All right, swoopy whistle. Our skaters are going to get lined up shortly. They're all going to get back to the bench and get their first lineups out there on the track.
Looks like Two Braids is going to the line for Tulsa, who is in the very bright green.
And that is, I believe, number 415 for the blue Rolling Rebellion. That is Wither. Off and rolling here with jam number 1. Two Braids to the front of the pack. Inside picks up lead jammer. First of the game will go to Tulsa.
Shut Up and Listen, able to knock out Wither right before they escape the pack.
Looks like we have a pivot cover right by the jam line.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Oh, looks like a penalty picked up by one of the blockers for Tulsa.
Yeah, it was a direction of gameplay.
So we're going to be a blocker down as we go. First penalty of the game. Meanwhile, Two Braids through for a scoring pass for 4 points.
First couple jams are always interesting, especially with juniors, because they really are feeling each other out. Don't necessarily have as much variety of gameplay options as adults.
And Two Braids finds a way through in the inside, but another scoring pass up. Now working on 8 points as we roll. Meanwhile, Wither through for his initial pass. Or her initial pass, sorry.
Yeah. Tulsa is setting up on that apex, giving Two Braids exactly what they needed, space.
And jam is called off. Another 4-point pass, so big start for Tulsa. 12-point jam, keeping Rolling Rebellion off the board. Nice little handshake there at the jam line for our next two jammers. That's going to be number 27 for Tulsa. That is Troublemaker. And it's number 17, Lex Lethal with the star for the Rolling Rebellion.
Good catch, because that ponytail made it look like one number.
Sometimes hair kind of covers up numbers for us, and we have a little bit of a problem, but it's usually cleared up pretty quickly now.
Some shoulder work gets Lex Lethal through, but hot on her tail is Mac Attack.
Both skating around, catching up to the pack. Now we're sitting outside of turn 2. Lex Lethal to the inside, takes a spill to the infield. Meanwhile, Mac Attack, a.k.a. Troublemaker, off to the outside, both recycling. And penalty picked up, a low block picked up on the Rolling Rebellion. 4-3-7-2. That is Be Reckless to the penalty box. Oh, a nice, at the end of that jam, Mac Attack picked up, looks like, 2 points on that pass, as 3 points picked up also there for Rolling Rebellion. So an 18-3 game. And
for people at home, Troublemaker has Mac Attack on their back. So I'm going to do my best.
We'll do our best.
But sometimes when you see a name, you read the name.
If you hear Mac Attack, we're talking about Troublemaker. If you hear Troublemaker, we're talking about Mac Attack.
We just do our best.
We do what we can. Jam number 3, that is Nitro with the star for the Rolling Rebellion. And Nitro through for lead jammer. Going up against Brawley Ringwald for the Tulsa Derby Brats. Track cut picked up by Tulsa. Number 187, Foxy Dash, the penalty box.
We've got a position penalty.
Let's see, we're looking for a penalty here. Is on blocking with the head call.
So blocking with the head.
We have 2 Tulsa players going to the box. One is the jammer. We're not sure who the penalty is on. We'll look it up in a second for the blocking with the head. But regardless, we have a power jam now for the Rebellion.
So we had an out-of-play block going to green at the same time as a failure to reform going to blue. Now we've got a cut track going to a green blocker.
So no room at the end there pretty much looks like for Tulsa, as the jam's going to be called off by Nitro.
They're going to get this sorted out. There is a skater standing, so the Tulsa blocker should have gone in and sat, and I think maybe they've just not been in this spot before.
And the Tulsa jammer is also standing, so she should be released relatively quickly starting in the jam number 4.
So that was a 12-point jam for the Rolling Rebellion. It's 18-15. Tulsa up.
Yeah. And it looks like we're going to have a timeout, a stoppage.
Yeah. I think the teams want to know what's up. I think
it's official timeout going to be called.
Yeah. The officials are making sure that everyone is sorted and everyone knows what's going on.
And while we sort that out, let's talk about Adam Skates. High-quality skates for affordable pricing. Something for everyone at Adam Skates.
I see adult teams get in trouble. When it comes to micro packs like this, you are still responsible for maintaining that pack.
Yes.
And if someone goes off, you have to know that you're the only person. So if you skate up ahead real fast or skate back or you are still going to get that destruction. And it was just a lot of pack penalties all at once.
Well, the way it looks right now, if we don't change what we have right now, we have a quite full penalty box. 2 Rolling Rebellion blockers. 1 standing, 1 sitting. We have 3 in the box for Tulsa. Jammer standing, blocker sitting. So we're going to have pretty much a little micro pack out there as we start with 1 lone jammer who looks like to be number 13 for the Rolling Rebellion. That'll be Lucky Devil.
And they've sent out 5-5 Alfie as the, hey, you got this.
Yeah, you can do this.
Blocker.
You can do this, Alfie.
Every blocker who's ever been in this situation, all you can do is your best.
Well, it's 2-on-1 blocker advantage on the track now in favor of the Rolling Rebellion. We wait for our whistle to blow.
I was interested that Blue decided to take that stance. It worked.
Well, Lee Jammer will go to Lucky Devil as blockers now starting to return for both teams. And Jammer through the pack there for Tulsa. 0-1-6 Brawley Ringwald. Meanwhile, points picked up by Lucky Devil.
Brawley coming around fast.
Pack still sitting at the turn 3 entrance.
Yeah, she got tripped up on her own blockers trying to get through.
Lucky Devil found a lucky spot on the inside. Oh, but a track cut picked up there by the pivot. Oh, as the Jammer with the Jammer cap in hand. So there'll be a power jam for the Rolling Rebellion. Lucky Devil now to the inside once again. Another scoring pass complete.
I am curious. So, as pivot in the box.
Yes. Oh, they changed it.
As pivot in the box. So that's what I was looking for. They took the hat off. They have the pivot stripe.
But the Jammer cap is in hand.
Jammer cap's in hand, but they were sitting in a blocker seat.
Yeah.
And the pivot can maintain that hat.
They
just have to make sure they give it back.
Never did put the cap on to become the Jammer. So, yes. Lucky Devil through for another scoring pass.
Brawley Ringwald did get through the pack, but without a hat, it doesn't matter.
So that's the thing. Brawley can run around as much as she wants to right now, but she's not going to get any points.
Yep.
Penalty picked up by Tulsa.
Yeah, that was Alfie. I
yeah.
didn't see the hand signal, sadly.
Another pass through for Lucky Devil. Working on 24-point jam. Biggest jam of the game so far, early on in the game, but still. 24-point jam as we go for Lucky Devil. Yes. Well, being the only jammer on track right now, well, not for a long time, until Brawley Ringwald was able to regain the star.
And now Brawley Ringwald is going out for another cut.
Track cut. So, yeah, another power jam for the Rolling Rebellion. Another 4-point pass for Lucky Devil. Jam will end now, and that's a 28-point jam by the Rolling Rebellion. Opens it up a little bit more here now. 43-21 in favor of the Rolling Rebellion. So a little bit of confusion there, but needless to say that penalty on Tulsa basically kept that jammer in the box for a while. So no jammer on even though you had a jammer on track by definition, you didn't have a jammer by position.
Right.
So
right.
A little confusing, but stuff like that happens sometimes.
We had an inactive jammer.
Yeah, inactive jammer. There you go.
Whistle
jam blows? Yes.
Yeah, jam is on.
Going for jam now, number 17. Once again, jamming for the Rolling Rebellion. That is Lex Lethal.
We do have number 5, Two Braids, is wearing the pivot hat. So I have a feeling that is part of the plan.
Ooh. Lex Lethal getting knocked around in that pack by the Tulsa defense.
I will say this floor, when you start to get hit, it is very easy to just lose your grip on the ground.
We've seen that quite a bit in some of the games here leading up to this one so far. I think you're right on that one, Chaos.
Yeah, this floor is your friend until it isn't.
Lex Lethal takes another spill in turn 4. Forearm penalty picked up by Tulsa, number 31 in the penalty box, Blonde Bomber.
Brawley Ringwald coming through.
Lee Jammer finally established to Lex Lethal. And star pass was sent over to Two Braids, but
there is a star pass violation.
Oh.
So Two Braids is still the pivot. Brawley Ringwald is the jammer. The jammer is going to sit in the penalty box, but Two Braids, I'm pretty sure, is going to get a failure to return penalty as well.
So that will mean Two Braids sits for pretty much a full minute.
Yes.
As the pivot. So the jammer, they will have a jammer for Tulsa next time around, I believe.
Yes. So Brawley Ringwald handed that star off with a knee down.
If you're confused out there, it's okay. A lot of people here are too. We're trying to figure it out. Junior Derby can get a little action back as far as some of the things going on in it when people get penalties and star pass violations and such. But we'll get it all straightened out. We had a team timeout now being called by Tulsa. And during that timeout, I will remind everybody about our friends at Blood and Thunder. Their motto is life's better on roller skates. Check out Blood and Thunder online for all your derby needs. Also remember we have Fox Rental, who's a local company here, proudly celebrating 50 years under the same ownership and providing the Metroplex with the best equipment to complete all events and projects.
So it looks like perhaps the violation was rescinded.
Waived, yeah. So
because we don't have Molly Ringwald or
we still have 2 Braids though. I'm sorry, we have yeah.
two. I was going to say 2 Briggs is starting with the jammer cap. Raleigh Ringwald is not in the penalty box.
Yes.
So since neither one of them are in the box, I can only assume that was a rescinded penalty.
We have a swoopy whistle. So
Everyone gets very excited.
We do have a Tulsa blocker in the penalty box to start the jam, so we'll have a blocker advantage in favor of Rolling Rebellion.
Yeah. And is that 44 for Rolling Rebellion?
That is number
Oh, it's
415. That is Wither.
415.
But Lee Jammer going to go to 2 Braids. So 2 Braids are working around now, looking to put some points on the board for Tulsa. Remember, Tulsa in the green, Rolling Rebellion in the blue and orange. Through the pack, points picked up there. 4 points for 2 Braids. Knocked out of bounds, number 9. Nice hit there for Tulsa. Shut up and listen. Took out Wither.
Yeah, Shut Up and Listen is just doing a good job of putting her body exactly where Rolling Rebellion wants to be. I'm seeing a lot of shoulder hits. Direction of gameplay actually caught on Princess Payne for such a shoulder hit.
2 Braids caught off the jam. Looks like a 7-point jam in favor of Tulsa. Scored now 47-28. Rolling Rebellion leading almost at the 20-minute mark left to go in our first period.
Tulsa with the height advantage, but Rolling Rebellion seems to be able to leverage that quite honestly.
Especially with this setup, with these two lineups.
Yeah.
Tulsa with like I said, a lot more height advantage, a little bit of size advantage as well. And Lee Jammer will go to Tulsa right here. Troublemaker through for Lee, but Nitro shoots around and gets around Troublemaker. So maybe not as much of a height advantage, but a speed advantage for Rolling Rebellion.
So what I'm seeing happen from the Rolling Rebellion is they're using their smaller stature to dip underneath centers of gravity, and also they're baiting them. So if you're taller and you're at this certain age of your life, you might not always have the best hip control. And they're quite honestly just taking advantage.
But if that's something Rolling Rebellion can take advantage of in this game, that can very well keep them where they are right now. 47-28 is your score. Whistle blows starting jam number 8. 2 Braids wearing the star once again for Tulsa. And Lee Jammer will go to 2 Braids. And he is matched up against Lucky Devil by the Rolling Rebellion.
A little bump to the outside just for funsies.
And 2 Braids diving, tiptoeing through the infield, inside. I'm sorry, kept it in bounds. Called off the jam, did get the full 4-point pass. So now
I love the ferocity. And I'm not even going to call it ferocity this time. The brevity. Maybe that's not even the right word. Like, these kids are not scared of death.
Fearlessness.
Yeah.
Fearlessness. A lot of these skaters will put themselves where they want to be, where they feel like they need to be. And if the blocker's there, great. I'm just going to put myself and get past you.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of fearlessness and a lot of, bravery, if you want to call it that, in these juniors. So Lee Jam here goes to Troublemaker here in jam number 9. Acid Rain jamming for the first time for the Rolling Rebellion.
Treble using them legs.
Nice hop over the apex in turn 1 for points. Meanwhile, Acid Rain still kind of mired. Oh, big hit in the front of the pack. Number 9 for Tulsa.
That was Shut Up and Listen again. Yeah. We keep saying that name.
Oh, and it looks like taking a spell once again. Like I said, that track, this court's a little bit slick. And we're seeing it eat up a few skaters' wheels at times. Points picked up there once again by Troublemaker, so looking for a few more this time around. Hops once again over the apex, slides to a landing, and keeps going.
Yeah.
Another 4 points.
It doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to be in.
And that brings us now to a 3-point game after a 12-point jam as we go. Jam will come to an end. Let's see if Rebellion had no points in the pocket, so we're going to end with a 12-0 jam. Tulsa closing that gap now to 3 points, 47-44.
Yeah, Tulsa's letting go of their shapes a little bit. The jammers are having trouble with some of the strength. Yeah. It's almost like they're used to running right into blockers and being able to get around them. But with Tulsa, if you run into Tulsa, they're going to hit you.
Yeah,
we got a team timeout
for the Rolling Rebellion. So that'll stop the clock at 17:34 here in the first period. 3-point game. And we want to talk about another great sponsor here, Resurrection Skates. They're located in Denton, Texas, which is not too far from where we are in North Richland Hills. They pride themselves on excellent knowledge and customer service for derby gear. So if you are in the Denton, Texas area, make sure to check out Resurrection Skates.
I believe they're online as well.
I believe so. So check them
Yeah.
out online, resurrectionskatesibelieve.com.
Give that Facebook like a mash.
Exactly. Check them out on social media. Of course, if you're following us on social media all weekend, and really, why shouldn't you be?
Exactly.
Make sure I think our hashtag is Clover Cup 2019.
Oh, excellent. I meant to.
Or Talk to WFTDA also. We'll use that one as well.
We'll use that. Derby Twitter is always a popular spot.
So we would like to see what you're all thinking about Clover Cup 2019. It's been a really fun day one. So 2 more days to go after this. We have 1 more game to go after this.
And that was a swoopy whistle. And
those skaters are so ready to go right now.
Yo.
They wanted to go on the swoopy whistle.
When I was at Dumpster Fire a couple weekends ago, the jam timer was like, I make sure that they know, like, this next whistle is not for you, it's for me.
That is eagerness. That is a want and a need to get out there and start skating. And now we go after the 5-second call.
Pavlovian effect.
Yes, here we go. Lex Lethal jamming for the Rolling Rebellion. That is Alfie jamming for Tulsa, and Alfie breaks through and earns lead.
Alfie able to lean into the defenders and just split them apart with his shoulder.
Alfie leaning in now on the outside. Now tries to get around the outside, makes the pass complete for 4. And that'll give us a lead change as we go. Tulsa now on top by a point. And a start pass completed by the Rolling Rebellion, number 555. That is Jake from Skate Farm.
Jake from is it Jake from?
Jack
no, it is
Skate
Jack
Farm. I love that derby name. Is now taking over lead jammer obligations, but the jam is going to get called off.
Having trouble with the hat there. That is the only issue with the visor helmets.
Yes.
Having had one.
On. Yep. I can imagine.
Get on that S1. Figure that out.
And that will leave us in an 8-0 jam in favor of Tulsa. So lead change. Tulsa Derby Brats 52, Rolling Rebellion 47.
Jack just took the hat off and was just like, here, coach, got to go. And he's back on as a blocker again.
So here
obviously
we go.
Part of his core.
Jam number 11, 2 braids once again jamming for Tulsa. Nitro will counter for the Rolling Rebellion. 2 braids around the outside, leans into the turn, it picks up lead jammer.
Nitro tried to lure the pack apart a little bit, backed up to get some speed. Wasn't able to quite sneak through that time, able to use the outside line.
Little hop step to complete that initial pass. And 2 braids gets through on the inside this time, picks up points and calls it off. So a quick 4-0 jam will extend Tulsa's lead now to 56-47.
Yeah, just about halfway through to the first period.
Wanting us to thank everybody for tuning into us here, for watching our video feed here for Clover Cup 2019.
You're flipping through a program. I'm looking going, I didn't know there was a program.
Also, I want to thank our great video people at Gambot for once again providing the video coverage here at Clover Cup this year. Thank you very much to Gambot Productions.
Lex Lethal and Troublemaker on the track. Troublemaker out for a quick lead jammer.
And Lex Lethal still working in the middle of that pack, almost to the front now, but Tulsa right in front. Oh, big hit to the infield on Lex Lethal. Meanwhile, Troublemaker now to the outside, skates through, picks up some points, 4 to be exact.
So we talk a lot in Derby about the hammer and nail. I can't decide if Shut Up and Listen or if Blonde Bomber is the hammer or the nail, because they're both doing work.
And Troublemaker through pretty seamlessly on the inside on that pass, picks up another 4 points. So Tulsa starting to open it up here a little bit. Rolling Rebellion got to try to get their jammers back out and ahead of these walls, but Tulsa, I guess, maybe using a little bit of that size advantage to keep these walls in place. Oh, spinning through the pack, Troublemaker. Nice job staying upright and keeping her balance there for 4 points.
Yeah, really nice body awareness. Knowing how to bring that leg around. She was hit and it opened her up completely.
And a pack right in front of us here in turn 3. Almost through. Troublemaker takes a big hit.
The pivot just sort of put their butt out and just finished off and then casually went, and I'll take that hat since I'm not doing anything else right now.
That is B Reckless, who is now the jammer, but jam will be called off. So A lot of action there in one little corner by basically one skater who hits the opposing jammer out of bounds. Says, "I'll take that star, run around, star pass."
They look so unconcerned, just like bloop.
I'll do that.
Okay, hat.
So a 15-point jam by Tulsa, 71 for them, 72 for them, 16-point jam. I'm sorry, 47 points for the Rolling Rebellion.
Alfie back on the line for Tulsa, going against Acid Rain.
Here's Acid Rain's second jam of the half. Seems to be more in a relief role as a jammer. This is half. Alfie resets back to the jam line. And same thing for Acid Rain. And lead jammer will go to Alfie.
Yeah, Alfie caught them looking. They were getting reset, and he just went, I'm just going to take that space.
Sometimes getting reset is not bad for a jammer because you get that little bit of momentum from the back of the pack. You can find your way through and get through for either a scoring pass or lead. And for that case, it was lead.
There's a high block being issued to the pivot.
That is number 4372, Be
That's
Reckless for Rolling Rebellion. Meanwhile, Alfie threw for a 4-point pass.
And we've got a power jam.
We did not see the penalty assessed.
I did not either.
So we are going to, like I said, have a power jam now for Tulsa. Alfie on the outside digs deep into the turn and threw for another 4 points.
You can see Tulsa sort of eyeing up their prey.
Oh, nice spin move by Alfie. Just spins through the pack, takes a couple of hits, stays upright, picks up another 4 points.
Acid Rain back on the track and engaging with the pack.
Whistles blow, looking for a penalty call. Back block on somebody.
Acid Rain.
On Acid Rain.
Yeah.
So we're going to start this next jam with a power start for Tulsa.
12 points, I believe. Wait to make sure there's not more going on. Right now it looks like 84-47 to a point jam for Alfie on that one.
So it looks like Tulsa kind of starting to break away here these last few jams. I guess Rolling Rebellion maybe just kind of getting caught on their heels a little bit these last few jams to see if they can put something together here, but they're going to have to start with their jammer in the penalty box on a power start, and that is going to be Troublemaker for Tulsa with the jammer star.
And Troublemaker decides not to listen to her offense and go a different direction. As a result, she will reset at the back of the pack.
So pack moving through to turn number 2. Troublemaker to the outside. Hip check block to out of bounds. Quickly back in play.
Has to start again. Got Jack from State Farm to deal with this time.
Doing the bendies in that pack. A lot of movement, body movement, staying upright, but just bending like that upper torso around a lot to keep upright.
Alfie clearing the way, just like, all right, you know what? This whole static offense thing isn't working.
Like, done.
I'll move you and then you. That was a really nice lead through.
So call off quickly there after looks like a nothing jam. Yeah, scoreless jam.
Yeah, okay.
So we're still at 84 for Tulsa, 47 for the Rolling Rebellion. 10.5 minutes left to go in our first period, hanging in a jam number 15. And that is going to be Lucky Devil, number 13, with the star for the Rolling Rebellion. And number 5, Two Braids, once again jamming for Tulsa. Ooh,
Lucky.
Nice. Getting low there, almost a bean dip type move there for Two Braids, breaking through for lead jammer.
These Rolling Rebellion jammers really like the edges, and Tulsa figured that out.
So Lucky Devil now scoots through for her initial pass. Two Braids looking at the bench, looking at maybe for a call off, and there he goes for a call off. So a nothing jam once again. Has 2 straight scoreless jams.
Got the.
I'm sorry, 4-point jam for Tulsa. I apologize.
Yeah.
4-point jam for Tulsa. That's going to be us an 88-point score now for the Derby Brats. 47 for the Rolling Rebellion.
They're just keeping Two Braids out there, just like.
Well, it wasn't a very long jam, so Two Braids is like, I'll keep going.
Super cash.
Yeah. Meanwhile, number 44 for the Rolling Rebellion, Nitro will be the opposing jammer.
And Rolling Rebellion barely got their blockers onto the track.
And Two Braids through for lead. That might have something to do with Two Braids getting lead so quickly.
Yeah. It was like at the almost like they thought a team timeout was about to happen.
Nitro knocked to the outfield. We got to pick up a penalty, actually.
A cut track, it looks like.
So that'll mean a power jam for Two Braids, who's through for a scoring pass. So Tulsa looking to even widen that gap further now at 92 as we roll.
You can actually see Tulsa talking to each other to coordinate this offense that's coming up. It looked like they all took, like you saw them picking players.
Like, I'm going to take that one. I'll take that one. You take that one.
Now, Rolling Rebellion did an awesome job of running away from it for a second there.
I think they saw it kind of happen, and then they were able to kind of move a little bit, but Two Braids able to keep going, find a way through the pack, picks up 4 points, and then calls off the jam.
Lex Lethal, as a blocker, going to the penalty box for a cut track. So Rolling Rebellion going to be down a blocker for the next jam. 96 Tulsa Derby Brats to 47 Rolling Rebellion. 8 minutes left in period 1 going into jam 17.
So we've seen a lot of strategic movement in these jams for both teams, really. Mm-hmm. And I find in Junior Derby you see a lot more strategy because these teams are trying to kind of figure out where they want to be.
Yeah.
And they're kind of learning at the same time where they need to be. So a lot of strategy, as you said, talks amongst themselves on the track, especially you saw that earlier with Tulsa doing that.
Right. This is Blonde Bomber's first time out with the star going against Lucky Devil, who has had quite a few jams.
And Blonde Bomber takes a big hit at the front of the pack there from Jack from State Farm.
Yeah, she tried to duck under Jack, and Jack wasn't having it.
And dancing on toast tops. Couldn't keep it in bounds, though.
That was Be Reckless, the pivot.
Meanwhile, through the front of the pack, there goes Lucky Devil. Lead jammer goes to the Rolling Rebellion.
Out of play block going to Be Reckless. Blonde Bomber finally out.
Lucky Devil fighting in the back of that pack, but nice just shoulder blocking there from number 9. Shut up and listen. Just throwing those shoulder blocks. Penalty picked up by that pivot for the Rolling Rebellion. And looks like to the inside. Oh, a track cut going to be picked up by Blonde Bomber. So now a power jam for Lucky Devil and the Rolling Rebellion.
Now we'll see what they do with it. Lucky Devil kind of stuck in the back there.
Trying to get some direction a little bit, looking for some advice, trying to figure out where to go, but just decides discretion, the better part of valor there. Just call off the jam.
You could see
start
him.
Over.
He was trying to figure out what to, because someone from the audience was calling call it, and he started to move his hands, and then he looked at his bench, and his bench wasn't looking at him at first.
And sometimes with juniors, you get that a little bit. Sometimes voices from the crowd, sometimes they'll hear that, and they'll start kind of wondering, oh, should I do that? And instead of maybe looking more toward the bench to get direction from a coach or from a turn coach.
Jam is on. 44 looked like he wanted to call an official review.
I would say we did have a cap thrown off that, but
yeah,
it's not going to be an in-play motion though. So
yeah, she was making the signal. I don't know if she was trying to call an or if that's just a signal that they have on the team. If it is, they should probably adjust that.
Here we go. Lead jammer going to go to Nitro for the Rebellion. Blonde Bomber released from the penalty box. Will rejoin the action now as Nitro meets back up with the pack. Passive offense for Rebellion.
She meets up with Princess Payne, who introduces her to the floor.
And we have a star pass by Tulsa. Number 27, Troublemaker, takes the star.
Cut track being issued
to Nitro, I believe. Yes, so we're going to have a power jam now for Tulsa. So now we have Troublemaker to the inside. One
now
skate jumps through. Oh, but looks like a
direction of gameplay going at Princess.
So meanwhile, 4 points picked up by Troublemaker.
I saw the motion happening. I'm like, and I know what that whistle is. Yeah.
Troublemaker again just finding an easy inside seam. 4 points. Tulsa just looking to get themselves reformed here at the front of this pack. Got to try to get set up to await the return of Troublemaker. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, their jammer gets released from the penalty box. Nitro. Nice work there by Two Braids. Tried to break up that wall initially, but then Rolling Rebellion quick to reform in the front of the field.
Nitro able to get through the pack almost all the way.
Not quite. Credit there for number 13, Princess Payne. Trying to put some licks there on Lucky Devil. Meanwhile, 4 points added there for Troublemaker. Nitro still working in that pack. Oh! Nice striding apex jump by Troublemaker as time on the jam expires. Looks like we have an additional 4 points picked up there by Troublemaker. So a 16-point jam in total for Tulsa. Gives them 112, 55 for the Rebellion. Timeout going to be called, I believe, by the Rebellion. Let me double check that. Or is it an official
I'm
timeout?
wondering if Rebellion's calling because the jam just happened to be expired at the same time as the jammer was trying to call it off.
Well, we'll see in a second because
We shall see.
No, now it's actually turned to an official review.
Yes.
Being called, yes, by
Right.
the Rebellion.
By Rebellion. It's either going to be that or possibly another penalty on that side.
We'll wait to hear from our alt
Yeah.
ref who will.
I just saw the bench reacting at a certain time. I'm like, something happened over there that they're asking about.
Our alt ref will inform us, and we will
Yes.
inform you. That's
I
what we
believe
do
it's
here.
Jesse. I can't.
Is Jesse
I can't.
Jack, I believe, is the alt of this thing?
Maybe not. No, Jesse
Okay,
might be
all
on
right.
his skates. There's someone else with an incredible beard.
There's some incredible beards in this ref crew, I must say.
Yes.
We're going to talk about Ruby Ribbon. Bras are the worst. Ditch your bra and get the comfort and support in a cami without annoyance of bras or underwires. Check out Ruby Ribbon. Also, check out Bont Skates. Lighter, stronger, faster. Check out our new Park Stars to fit all of your park and lifestyle needs. Bont Skates. B-O-N-T.
I keep trying to check Twitter, and then I forget that it's not going to happen yet.
We should be hearing shortly about our rudder review is concerning. Our refs are at their equipment crate.
I think he forgot about us.
That's possible.
It's not just possible. It has just happened.
It's a thing. It's okay. We will try to surmise what occurred, and if we can't, then we will.
If nothing else, we'll be able to tell you lost or gained.
Exactly. And we have a quick track tape prepare. Also, we also want to give a quick shout out and thank you to our host league, Dallas Derby Devils.
Dallas is great.
They put on a great Clover Cup every single year. This is my third Clover Cup, and I love coming here every time I can come
so
here.
this is my third tournament
Yes.
that Dallas has hosted, but
Yes.
my first Clover Cup.
Oh, Clover Cup.
Because I was here for MRDA champs
Same
a few
here.
years
I've been
ago,
here for same thing, yes.
and then B champs in October, and that
Triple
was
D does
phenomenal.
a great job of hosting their
Yeah.
tournaments here at NYTEX. They're outstanding host, and they actually hosted also when we had WFTDA playoffs in Irving
Yep.
2 years ago. So
That's
I was
right.
there for that one. So I've been part of a lot of Triple D hosted events,
Yes.
and I cannot stop raving about them. They're doing an excellent job. Here we go with Jam 19. Two Braids out for lead for Tulsa. Meanwhile, Wither is jamming for the Rolling Rebellion.
And because you don't have a scoreboard at home, Rolling Rebellion lost that review, whatever it was.
So they do not retain their review for the final 3-8-3-16 of this first period.
Two Braids just breaking through the. I mean, there were links, and then he came through.
So points picked up for Tulsa. Meanwhile, Wither still getting knocked around in the front of the pack now by the Tulsa defense. Track cut picked up. Oh, I believe it's going to be number 17 as a blocker there
Lex
for
Lethal.
the Rolling Rebellion. You're right.
Now we've got.
Initial pass completed by Rolling Rebellion. Points picked up for two Braids, sorry. And that jam is called.
Alfie going to sit down for a position penalty, but I don't know if it was a destruction or I just saw the karate chop.
Regardless, the P goes up, the hand goes out, the chop goes out, and we have a blocker, a piece in the penalty box. So we'll have a 3-on-3 blocker lineup as we go here in our next jam.
120-55, Tulsa Derby Brats leading Rolling Rebellion.
And that is Lucky Devil wearing the star for the Rolling Rebellion in the orange and blue. And for the Tulsa Derby Brats in the black and bright green, that is Troublemaker.
Triple through on the inside line for lead jammer. And Lucky Devil still struggling. That lineup of Princess Pain and Shut Up and Listen has been brutalizing the jammer. Shut Up and Listen going to the box for a direction of gameplay, and now...
And that's a position penalty picked up by number 1102 for the Rolling Rebellion. Acid Rain as the pivot. Jam is going to be called off. 4 points picked up by the Rebellion.
That was a lovely little hop over the leg of Tulsa to pick up those points before the end of the jam.
4-4 jam, so 124 for Tulsa, 59 for the Rolling Rebellion. A minute 21 to go, so we're counting down to our last maybe jam or two here in the first period.
Yes, yes.
It looks like Alfie will wear the star once again for Tulsa.
And Nitro step into the line in blue for Rolling Rebellion. Nitro was eyeing up Alfie's line. Like, just do it. Just do it. I'm going to draft.
But now on the outside, Nitro took advantage of a wide open gaping hole, and Lee Jammer will go to the Rebellion. But Alfie also threw for Tulsa.
If there's a gap, she'll find it. See if she hops. Yes, but
couldn't keep it
met
in
up with, I believe that was Princess again.
Alfie threw the pack on a track cut, getting picked up by Alfie. So a power jam for the Rolling Rebellion. So lead jam advantage and power jam for the Rolling Rebellion as we skate through with about 24 seconds on the period clock. So this should be our last jam of the half.
Lunantic doing some offense up there for Nitro. Just can't seem to get Blonde Bomber out of the way, though.
Blonde Bomber just setting up shop right in front of Nitro, but not enough to the outside. It goes Nitro. One blocker to get around, but it is shut up and listen through a nice shoulder hit, knocking Nitro out of bounds.
It is such a MRDA style of backwards blocking that I'm seeing from this pack. Like, you just don't see a lot of people in WFTDA play using their shoulders in that way. And when they do, they're really successful.
And that jam was going to be called off, and that will bring us to halftime. Merry Chaos, Tulsa Derby Brats 128, Rolling Rebellion 62. It's been a pretty fun first half. It was great JRDA action here at Clover Cup 2019. We will be back the second half of this game in roughly about 14 and a half minutes. So
well, you'll probably see us in like 3 seconds.
Yeah. Maybe. All right, everybody. We are back here for the second half of our JRDA game, our first one of the weekend here at Clover Cup 2019. Tulsa Derby Brats 128, Rolling Rebellion 62. We got about 3 minutes left in our halftime. Following this game, we're going to get back to action with our next game. Will be a couple of B teams taking each other on. Dallas's B team will take on Pikes Peak's B team. But this game right now has been a very, very fun juniors game so far. Tulsa kind of took advantage of a couple of opportunities late or middle of that part of that first half and kind of broke it open a little bit for the 128-62 score. But Rolling Rebellion by no means is out of this at all. So we are going to be right back with a starting action here in about a couple of minutes, and my colleague Mary Chaos joins me.
I'm sorry. I thought we were going on at 2, so my bad. I thought I had 20 seconds. I was checking in with the officials, so that Star Pass violation that happened earlier.
Yes.
So what turned out to happen, it was a Star Pass violation, but as per new clarifications and rules, when a Star Pass is incomplete, the jammer has to be warned before getting the Star Pass violation.
Okay.
So because of the warning not happening and the penalty just being dropped and then the gem ending, Vanilla Vice decided that it would be better and more fair, because they did not get the proper warnings, to just rescind and say, okay, that our bad didn't happen.
That's fair.
And the official review was Rolling Rebellion wanted to. They thought that the gem had been called off by a non-jammer, by a non-lead jammer.
Okay.
Yeah. So there we go. I like checking in on the reffy things.
And that helps us out. It gives us a little bit of what we weren't able to get in the first half. So that brings us back to where we are right now. 128 Tulsa, 62 for the Rolling Rebellion.
I am curious to see how Rolling Rebellion adjusts.
Yes.
Because the first few jams, they really had Tulsa locked down. And I don't know if Tulsa just hadn't gotten their feet under them, or if Rolling Rebellion just had a more solid mindset at the start.
But regardless, there was that shift in momentum you saw right at Tulsa, kind of the midpoint there in that first half, where Tulsa kind of just took control. And I don't know if it was maybe using a little more physicality or a little more kind of using the wall, sitting down more on these Rolling Rebellion jammers. But regardless, they kind of took momentum away and kind of started running away a little bit with it. But as I said earlier before you got back, not at all insurmountable for Rolling Rebellion. This is still
no.
a lot of time left in this game, a whole half to go. So it should be a very fun first half.
I mean, Tulsa was able to put
Second
up
half.
128 points in a half, so
Yes.
yeah.
As we said, it's our first JRDA game of the weekend. We have another one tomorrow, and I believe one on Sunday.
Yeah, we have tomorrow at 4 p.m. our time, Texas time. It would be JRDA Tulsa versus Lone Star Chaos, not Merry Chaos, Lone Star Chaos. And then on Sunday we have Rolling Rebellion versus Lone Star Chaos.
So all three of our junior teams we have here will play each
Yeah.
other throughout the weekend. So there we go.
Everyone seems to be having a good time so far, so that's good. Everyone's still smiling.
Exactly.
You always hope for that.
That's what we like to see. Exactly.
And it looks like Troublemaker and
Lucky Devil.
Lucky Devil.
They will start us off here in the second half on jam number 1. We have one blocker in the penalty box for the Rolling Rebellion, so a one blocker advantage for Tulsa as we go here. And we are off and rolling with jam number 1 of our second half.
You have 4 power blockers out there off the bat for Tulsa.
So Troublemaker now on the outside, breaks through, picks up lead jammer. And like you said, Tulsa putting out like the kind of like the heavy hitters in this lineup here, starting off the second half. So they kind of want to, I guess, make a statement to come out here and try to keep Rolling Rebellion from mounting a comeback. But Rolling Rebellion would try their best to counteract that. But points will be picked up here by Troublemaker. As Lucky Devil just still trying to find her way around, not looking for an outside gap. But all 4 of the Tulsa blockers up front now. They were trying to bridge for a second, but now the pack came back to them a little bit.
This Tulsa pack has been rotating their bodies and their individually and as a team so very well that Lucky Devil she's just stuck.
Yeah.
She just looked at her bench and went, I don't know what to do. Everything I try doesn't work.
And unfortunately for her, she can't really get a whole lot of help from her blockers because they're working in the back trying to keep Troublemaker from getting around.
Right. Blonde Bomber is in the penalty box, does help Lucky Devil get through by adding a little bit of space.
That jam's going to be called off. A 10-point jam in favor of Tulsa gives them 138. Rolling Rebellion, nothing on that jam, 62.
Going to have 2 braids step into the line for Tulsa, and 44 Nitro coming up for Rolling Rebellion. Again, Tulsa in the neon green, Rolling Rebellion in the blue with the orange accents.
And now to the inside, Nitro fighting an inside line and breaks through first. But no lead jammer. It's going to go to 2 braids, but just barely.
I believe that Nitro might have been on a knee as she passed people, so therefore didn't earn it. But
it was very close.
It was
2
so
braids
close.
Immediately called off that jam, so just nothing really happened there. Got through, lead jam called. That's it.
Yeah. It was a brilliant little spurt up the inside line.
It was. From our angle, you could see Nitro just squirt through right on the inside line, and we thought she had a line straight through.
Yeah.
But not
Got
quite.
a timeout, team timeout being called by Tulsa pretty early to use that one up. But obviously there's a reason.
Coach might want to talk a little bit of strategy here heading into jam number 3.
Kaya is here this weekend. Kaya setting new standards in derby, park, and lifestyle roller skates. Now taking orders for the Kaya Kismet, the perfect park skate, for $229, which that is a very good price for a skate
very good
package.
price for a skate package, yes.
Indeed.
I can see the Kaya sign from our vantage point here in our vendor village, so if you happen to be watching and you're not in the NITEX Center, then come on down and check out Kaya's booth here, or you can find Kaya online if I'm
Yes,
not
indeed.
about
And
their
it's
stuff there.
CHAYA.
Yes.
If you're using the Google.
The Google.
The Google. Also, RollerCon, one of my favorite derby events of the year.
RollerCon.
13 tracks, 200 games, 2 tournaments this year, 4 rule sets, a skate park, hundreds of coaches and classes, plus parties, and 24-hour access to the pool.
And oh yeah, it's in Vegas.
Yeah.
I mean-
So, though the juniors might not be able... Hey, I'm talking to the parents right
Yes.
now. That's what's up.
RollerCon is an experience.
Yes, it is. No,
got to get back to skating here. We're lined up and ready to go. There's the whistle. Nitro.
That would be why they called the timeout.
Exactly. Nitro.
They just put Nitro right back on the line.
That's what it was. Nitro for the Rebellion. 2 braids once again jamming for Tulsa. Nitro quickly through and earns lead jammer.
Rolling Rebellion deciding to set up in the back, hoping that Nitro would be able to step on through, and they are. She puts up 4 more points.
4 points picked up by 2 braids. That penalty going to be picked up there by Jack from Skate Farm.
Mm-hmm. Nitro swung her hips past to earn 2 more points. Called it off before 2 braids could speed on up.
So a 6-4 jam there in favor of the Rolling Rebellion. 68 for the Rolling Rebellion. Tulsa Derby Brats 142. I want to once again welcome everybody watching here. Clover Cup 2019 from the NYTEX Sports Center here in North Richland Hills, Texas. Hosted by the Dallas Derby Devils.
Lucky Devil going up against Troublemaker. We've seen this matchup quite a bit. Troublemaker on the outside line, getting lead jammer.
Lucky Devil kind of took a hit there, right? In the beginning of the jam line, went down to a knee, but quickly back up on her wheels. But now taking a spill in turn 1. Might have taken a shot a little bit high up there. We're not quite sure. We're gonna stop play.
Yeah.
We're gonna have our EMTs come out and take a look at Lucky Devil, hoping she's gonna be all right. I want to remind everybody to talk about another great sponsor here this weekend for Clover Cup. Resurrection Skates, again, they are located in Denton, Texas. They pride themselves on their excellent knowledge and customer service for derby gear. So clock stop now, 26 minutes even, left to go in the second half. Tulsa 142, Rolling Rebellion 68, heading into jam number 5. So we want to definitely thank our EMTs, our medics who are here to look after all of our skaters if any injuries should happen to happen. Also want to thank our referees and our NSOs, all of our officials, all of our volunteers who are here this weekend for everything they do to make Clover Cup go.
We've got Ninja Sassum out there in the middle, tournament head ref, making sure everyone's settled, making sure that everyone's discussed what happened on the track, keeping it clean and all of that.
So Lucky Devil up and skating back to her bench. We're glad to see that. Hopefully everything's going to be all right. And we will line back up and get back to skating here momentarily. But these junior skaters, I've noticed, they are tough. They bounce back quite quickly.
Well, when you're made of jelly.
So pretty much, right?
Right?
They tend to just bounce back so quickly. I mean, they haven't got to that point in their derby careers where they've taken a lot of hits and abuse.
They're still at an age where their ligaments haven't quite solidified yet, so they just kind of stretch and bounce back like rubber bands.
Official review going to be called here, I believe, by Tulsa.
Yeah. So we'll see.
We'll see if we can find out. Yeah, if we can find out what the review is concerning.
Yeah. I told Jesse to check in with us.
Okay, that will help them now have.
I was like, hey.
Somebody checking in with us to let us know so we can let you know at home.
Indeed. In other games, the alt ref had a microphone in his pocket. I don't know if the battery died or if we've just abandoned ship on that.
And this is one of the things I love about Clover Cup, that we have the WFTDA games, and they also have the JRDA games here too as well. So I love being able to see not just like the adult WFTDA skaters, and occasionally we've also had MRDA games here in the past as well.
Yes.
Also having the JRDA games, so we get a good variety of action.
Yeah, there are a lot of the MRDA skaters that are here supporting.
Yes.
Actually.
Yes.
So that's been cool to see. I love the derby community in Texas in general.
The derby community here is very good, very supportive. I mean, across the state, I've noticed it. I mean, I'm right next door in Louisiana, but I know a lot of Texas skaters and Texas referees and announcers and officials from multiple leagues, and I love the environment in this state when it comes to roller derby. Granted, it's the motherland pretty much. If you go down to Austin, it's the motherland coming back from flat track roller derby with their revival in Austin, but Texas's derby community is indeed very, very good, very, very collective. And it looks like they're The review is going to be looking like they want to rescind the high block penalty assessed in the previous jam. Chaos, if you can kind of elaborate on that a little bit, please.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. They were asking to have the high block on the jammer eliminated. Or I guess it wasn't on the jammer, it was on the blocker.
The blocker, yeah, because we have both jammers out there. So I believe that penalty, the review is lost, but the penalty will stand. So here we go. Lex Lethal is jamming for the Rolling Rebellion. And up against Troublemaker for Tulsa. Lead jammer does go to Lex Lethal.
And we have the penalties in front of us now. Only really one person in any penalty trouble.
And it's a lot of trouble, actually.
Yeah.
Be Reckless for Rolling Rebellion is sitting on 6 penalties. So one more for Be Reckless, and that will end her day.
Yeah. Lex Lethal tried to jump the apex at the end there. Wheels landed out of bounds, but she never stood up, so no harm, no foul.
And no points.
144
144 for Tulsa, 68 for the Rolling Rebellion, 25-15 left to go in the game. Jam number 6 coming up, so we're still kind of early on here in our second period. And we have Nitro wearing the star for the Rolling Rebellion. Quickly to the inside and finds a path to lead jammer glory. Nitro firing around that pack, but meanwhile, Two Braids out as well for Tulsa.
You could see Nitro having a little bit of faith, like, I'm just going to trust. And I think
Nitro knocked to the outside.
Yep. Nitro's going to go to the penalty box for a forearm. Made contact with the blocker in the back and pulled the blocker down on top of her.
So there's a power jam now for Tulsa. Two Braids working on scoring now. One scoring pass complete.
And Tulsa doing kind of a shark maneuver of, we're just going to slowly be behind you, and you don't know when we're going to do our thing.
Meanwhile, Two Braids able to capitalize on that, skate right onto that pack for another 4 points. So Tulsa now trying to widen that gap now. 8-point jam as we go in favor of Tulsa. Nitro back out into the fray for the Rolling Rebellion. This will hop there by Two Braids to pick up another 4 points.
Nitro back in, causing some confusion, getting the blockers to move around, taking advantage of the space provided.
Use the space they give you. And Nitro definitely did that on that pass. Two Braids knocked out of bounds courtesy of Jack from Skate Farm, but now takes the inside lane. But once again, Jack gets up there and takes Two Braids out in the infield.
Princess Payne tried to take Nitro on the outside. Nitro survives and Payne hit the ground.
But Two Braids able to continue through for 4 points. 4 points also picked up by Nitro. Nitro looks for that wide open inside line, but Alfie escorts Nitro to the infield.
Yeah, Nitro hesitated just that fraction of a second.
But this time able to continue and make the pass. 4 points for Nitro. And that jam is over. So a nice scoring jam for both teams here. Looks like 16 points for Tulsa, gives them 160. Oh, sorry, more points. 19 for Tulsa, gives them 163. 12 for the Rolling Rebellion, gives them 80. So an 83-point differential. 22:47 to go in our second period.
Troublemaker going up against a new jammer, that's Leopard.
3-1-4. Leopard, first jam of the game for the Rebellion.
This is just one of those jammers that you're like, I just want them to succeed.
Through the inside, lead jammer will go to Tulsa. Troublemaker through for the pass.
And Tulsa.
And Leopard through for the initial pass.
Tulsa definitely pulled back a little bit. We don't have to hit this person at 100%. But because they pulled back, Leopard was able to get through her initial.
And Troublemaker calling off that jammer for getting through. Oh, did not get any points. But meanwhile, points picked up by the Rebellion. 2 points for Leopard there. 4-2 jam, though. Tulsa, 167. Rolling Rebellion, 82. Remember, after this game, our last game of the day, we're going to have Dallas, our host league, their B team, will take on Pikes Peak's B team. It's weird saying Pikes Peak's B team.
Yes.
Say that 5 times fast.
No. Lex Lethal and Alfie.
Those are our jammers. Alfie fighting through on the inside, keeps it in bounds. Nice balance by Alfie, picks up lead for Tulsa. Meanwhile, Lex Lethal still working against that Tulsa defense, but trying to split them apart. Goes down to a knee, able to get around Harley Quinn for the initial pass.
Jack, sorry. I keep doing that. Jack seems like he's just happy to have someone big to hit.
Alfie just made me dizzy with that spin to the pack for points. Called it off. Looks like 4 more points picked up, though, by the Rolling Rebellion. Waiting for Tulsa points, if any.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll...
Waiting for the Tulsa Jam ref to throw up points. Or a fist. We will see. Still waiting. Official timeout. We're going to discuss possible points for Tulsa, looks like.
Leopard was ready to go, though. Leopard's back there on toe stops like, I'm just going to hide in Alfie's shadow. He doesn't even know I'm back here.
And it looks like we're going to start with an empty penalty box. Hopefully I didn't just curse this jam. But good to see that as a start. So 20:33 left to go. Official timeout. 171 Tulsa. Rolling Rebellion with 86.
Alfie spotted her. Turn around like, oh.
You're not going to do that. If you watch, Leopard's like, I'm going to just follow Alfie.
It's like when you see images of the, like, pictures of the giant sunfish.
Yes.
And then there's just, like, the tiny little fishes, like the little guppies that are around it. Like, wait, I'm just going to be here with my friends.
Not a bad strategy.
Not at all.
You're a leopard. Yes, not a bad strategy.
Oh.
And now
nice
we're going to change
twist.
things up around. Alfie is going to the penalty box. So all that hiding might be for naught, as Leopard might have a power start here for the Rebellion.
I am curious if they're going bench coach is like, yes, you are getting this power jam.
All right. So there we go. A little bit of change of scenery here. Leopard going to have a little bit better view in front of that pack. Once again, we're not quite ready to go, but the skaters are.
That's the third time.
It's okay.
At least Leopard, it's her first time doing that. Ooh, okay.
Almost a pivot line start, which is older than most of the skaters on the track right now.
Pivot line starts happen all the time. It's a matter of how is Rolling Rebellion going to adapt to it. And that's...
And Leopard to the inside, takes a spill almost through. And it gets reabsorbed back into the pack. Tulsa trying to get formed up in the front. And they shut up and listen with an escort to the outside on Leopard.
I don't usually get stressed when I'm calling junior games, but this, I just want them to be successful.
And Alfie released from the penalty box, going to skate around and catch back up to the pack. Whistle blows for a penalty. It's like a direction game play against shut up and listen.
Low
block picked
going
up.
to Alfie.
He just got back into the pack and picks up a low block. So Power Jam re-engaged for the Rebellion.
He took a second to hit Leopold, and in the process knocked Leopold off their skates.
And Leopard did get through.
Leopard.
Jammer.
There's roller derby happening.
Takes a spill on the outside of turn 1, but able to continue. A penalty picked up by another Rolling Rebellion blocker. So 2 in the box for Tulsa, including a jammer. 1 in the box for the Rebellion.
Princess Payne taking Leopard off to the outside.
And Leopard to the outside. Another escort out there by number 13 for Tulsa. That is Princess Payne again.
Forearm by Princess Payne. And you saw her bring it back into her body. Yeah, maybe no one saw that.
There goes Leopard through the pack, picking up 4. Calls off the jam. And if my eyes doeth not deceive me, Leopard kept Tulsa off the board.
Yeah.
4-point jam for the Rebellion. Gives him 90. Tulsa with 170. 18:41 left on the game clock. So it looks like Tulsa's coach is going to kind of discuss something with our referees.
Checking in, I think because a late hit penalty was given to Alfie, I think that he was asking why such a thing might not have been given.
Well,
however, two braids,
lead jammer. And going up against the Lucky Devil for the Rebellion. Both jammers now free of the pack and able to score. And 2 braids says nope.
Yeah.
Calling that one off.
He's like, I know what's about to happen, and I'm going to have to jam the next one anyway, so I might as well just call this now. And ready?
Two Braids skated to the bench and immediately just made the circle, went right back out to the track. Oh, no, maybe not going to jam this time.
Switch.
That will go to, I think, Troublemaker.
Yeah.
Yep. And looks like number 17 once again jamming for the Rolling Rebellion. That is Lex Lethal. Once again, for those just tuning in or watching on the feed, if you haven't been watching the whole game, Tulsa is in the green and black. Rolling Rebellion is in the blue and orange. And Lee Jammer does go to the Rolling Rebellion. Lex Lethal through on the inside.
We've got a low block being issued to a Rolling Rebellion skater. And something else going to the Rolling Rebellion.
That is to Jack
pivot.
from State Farm. So both jammers now through and scoring eligible. Oh, but a penalty picked up, a procedure penalty on Troublemaker. Not sure what the procedural penalty was.
There are very few of those that exist with that hand signal right now, so I'm guessing maybe could have popped her mouth guard out.
Equipment. Yeah, there you go. So regardless, it's a power jam now for the Rebellion. Lex Lethal knocked to the outside, quickly resets behind the pack.
This is going to be the Rebellion's third power jam this half.
And for right now, if they want to get themselves back into this and get the point differential lighter, they need to start taking advantage of these power jams. But Tulsa not going to make it easy at all. Two Braids leaves Lex Lethal out right outside of the jam line, but Lex right back in. Now taking a spill in the infield. As returning out of the penalty box, Troublemaker through for a 4-point pass. And my Lex Lethal trying to fight her way through the pack. Oh, but picks up a track cut, and that is as the lead jammer. So to the penalty box, Lex Lethal goes. Power jam now for Tulsa, and we will go the remaining 26 seconds of this jam.
Acid Rain is headed back to the penalty box as well.
So it looks like penalties starting to mount a little bit here for the Rebellion.
Acid Rain's now sitting on 5. Direction of gameplay.
Yes, picked up by Two Braids. So it looks like Troublemaker going to try to skate out these last few seconds of the jam. Get as many points as she can. Jam is called. Looks like she will pick up 4 points. And a total of 12-point jam there for Tulsa, 182. 7-point jam for the Rebellion is a 97. We're at a 15 and 28, so we're right at a halfway point here in our second half.
And the penalty count, really, when you're looking down the line, you've got Acid Rain with 5, you've got Lex Lethal with 3, Be Reckless with 6, Nitro with 3, What's Crackin' with 2.
Meanwhile, with Tulsa, the only one really in any kind of trouble was Alfie with 4.
Alfie's the only one with multiple penalties.
So it looks like the jam does start.
Harley Quinn.
We do have 2 jammers on the track from what I see now. We have Harley Quinn jamming for Tulsa, but Lee Jammer will go to Lex Lethal for the Rebellion. This is the first time Harley Quinn's jammed, I believe, this half or even this game.
Right through.
And calling off the jam as Lex Lethal gets to 4 points. Looks like Tulsa might be kind of varying up their jammer lineup a little bit here.
So I just realized that I believe they only had 3 blockers. Rolling Rebellion only had 3 blockers on the track.
You are correct,
So typically that is a situation where you've got a new jammer on for the other team. You would run it. But with only 3 blockers, you don't want to risk that. You're just gonna make yourself tired. Oh.
Here we go. Harley Quinn again going to jam for Tulsa, and that is Leopard there jamming once again for the Rolling Rebellion.
Leopard almost had that whole inside line, and that little bit of hesitation gave Alfie the chance to get up in front.
And Leopard resetting back in turn 1. Meanwhile, Lee Jammer going to go to Harley Quinn.
Two Braids going to the penalty box.
Pack still in turn 2. Meanwhile, Leopard able to skate there on the outside for her initial. Harley Quinn meeting up with Jack from Skate Farm.
Just sealing the gap. Not doing anything crazy. Just holding them back.
Jammer's called off. Nothing on that pass.
Yep.
Nothing on that jam.
There haven't been too many of those.
Not really. We've pretty much had points every jam so far in the game.
Yeah.
And looking at our points so far, it looks like for the Rolling Rebellion, your leading jammer is going to be Wither with 50 points. Okay. Nitro with 26. Lex Lethal with 15. For Tulsa, looks like leading away is Troublemaker with 64, and Two Braids with 58. Alfie with 27, and Blonde Bomber with 24.
We got Troublemaker out for lead. Nitro still dealing with the pack.
And Troublemaker, that is 71% lead jammer percentage. So a nice percentage for her so far in this jam. Nitro, meanwhile, gets around for her initial. And calling it off rather emphatically.
Recycled back by Lex Lethal. Lex wasn't giving her a chance to get through for another pass. Oh, no, it's Treble's turn to do back-to-back jams.
Short jam and a lot of work for 1 point for Tulsa. 183 for them. 101 now for the Rolling Rebellion.
There's Leopard back out there on the line.
Leopard
again doing the shark thing.
Still practicing that. I'm going to hide behind the Tulsa jammer.
I love it.
Follow that line.
Smart. Oh, but she didn't actually draft her.
She actually stayed back this time. The lead jammer is going to go to Troublemaker. Troublemaker looking for some direction now from her turn coach.
Treble coming in, slaloming around her own team, meeting up. I believe, is that Lex again? Yeah.
That is Lex. Yes, Lex with a nice recycle there on Troublemaker.
Oh, we got a little star pass.
Jack from Skate Farm taking over jammer obligations for the Rebellion. Meanwhile, points picked up by Troublemaker.
I think this time they might run it.
We will see. And Jack knocked to the outside by Alfie. Now Troublemaker tried to pirouette stand mouse, but once again, Lex Lethal with the knockout.
Mm-hmm. Forearm penalty sending Jack from State Farm. And that is why you want to run it when there's a pivot jammer.
Yep. So no insurance policy there for Jack.
Nope.
So a power jam now for Tulsa.
He's not in khakis, though.
He's wearing khakis, so... And calling off the jam is Troublemaker.
Troublemaker's like enough of white helmets. Enough.
7-point jam gives Tulsa 190. 2-point jam for the Rebellion gives them 103. We're at 10 minutes and 48 seconds to go in our second period. Heading into jam number 16. And it looks like our jammer for Tulsa will be Two Braids, I believe.
Indeed.
Yes. And it's going to be a power start for Two Braids.
Yes. Which is not necessarily what the Rebellion wanted.
Nice block out there. Credit, I believe that was number...
It was 8. It was Lunatic.
Number 8, Lunatic.
Lunatic? Is that how you say that?
Out. Lunatic, yeah.
It just spelled Lunatic. Looked like a jerk. Sorry.
Two Braids through the outside. Lead jammer will go to Tulsa. And looking like for Two Braids, that is a lead jammer, 5th time picking up lead jammer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they jammed him a lot at first and then moved him back into a blocking capacity.
So calling off the jam, looks like about 2, maybe 3 points picked up there by Two Braids. That last jam brought to you by our friends at Bont Skates. Lighter, stronger, faster. Check out our new Park Stars to fit all of your parking lifestyle needs. Also, Blood and Thunder. They have a booth here this weekend, but you can visit Blood and Thunder online. Their motto is life's better on roller skates. Check out Blood and Thunder.
I would have to agree with that motto.
I agree. I'm not even a skater, but I agree with it, so my life needs to be better. Here we go. Troublemaker jamming for Tulsa, but Nitro living up to her name, firing through that pack like she's on Nitro's. Lead jammer goes to the Rebellion.
I am excited to see how Nitro grows as a skater. Just because every time she approaches the pack, she takes this really big plow. I just want to see her just run on those wheels. Because I know she can do it.
That's why I love juniors, because I love watching to see what any and all of these skaters would do if they keep progressing in their derby career and then they actually do age up and get to play with the adults.
That happens so rarely,
We've seen some great junior skaters come up in recent years, though, who've been with their junior programs, who've aged up, gone to either WFTD or MRDA leagues, and done very well.
Yeah.
Here we go, Troublemaker again jamming for Tulsa, and against Lucky Devil. Lucky Devil picking up lead for the Rebellion. So the pack now moving into turn number 2. Lucky Devil flying to that pack, skates through, picks up the points, calls it off. Very nicely done by Lucky Devil. So there we go.
Yeah.
193 Tulsa, 111 Rolling Rebellion. 8 minutes and a couple of seconds left to go in the game.
Yeah. Going into Jam 19.
Yes.
Trouble going out again, and she did not really look happy about that coaching choice.
And here, once again, we have Leapard looking for that hiding place. This time, goes the opposite way.
Just going to run right into the back of Harley Quinn.
It's an interesting strategy that Leapard employs. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's very interesting regardless. And Lee Jammer is going to go to Troublemaker. But Leapard threw also for her initial.
Got a couple penalties, one for each team.
So the pivot going into box for the Rebellion, a blocker in the box for Tulsa. Jam is called. No points for either team. So now we're closing in on 7 minutes to go. 193 to 111, Tulsa with the lead.
Trouble's like, who do I give this to? Please, who do I give this to?
Do I have to stay out again, Coach?
Oh my gosh, she's going out again.
Wow. That is hardcore. That is dedication, especially at the junior level, to have a jammer go out 3 times in a row.
This is
jam.
4.
4 times in a row, actually. I'm sorry, 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Although a couple of those jams were pretty short, but getting lead again.
And she keeps getting lead.
Yes. Couple
This
of
is
those jams were
2 for
short.
4.
Yep,
2
2
for
for 4.
4.
So batting 500 on Lee Jammers.
That's not a bad batting average.
Through the pack, Lucky Devil.
Whoa!
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 Troublemaker
2 foot 8.
Troublemaker is putting on a show out here. 4 points. 4 points also picked up by Lucky Devil.
Cut track gonna be called against.
Track cut.
Yep. Coming around turn 2 there.
So now,
just that toe stop went
now
out.
Troublemaker will be on the power jam, and it looks like it'll be a power start as the jam was called off.
Yeah, this is a good time to get some fresh legs out there.
At this point, Troublemaker just handed the star to her coach and said, "I'm done. I'm done."
That is a position that I would be in, where I would be like, "Where's my trash can?"
And looks like we have an
official review happening.
Called by Rebellion.
Okay. By Rebellion. At this late in the game, try and get your jammer out of the box.
Right.
Whether that means putting the other jammer in or just getting yours out, that's fine.
I want to thank our awesome producer party on Barth for giving us all these stats we're looking at right here.
Yes.
And looking again, let's look at penalties. It looks like we're still kind of pretty spread out for Tulsa. Only have a couple that have 2 Braves has 3, Alfie has 5. Meanwhile, for Rolling Rebellion, we still have Acid Rain at 5, Be Reckless at 6, Nitro with 3, also Lex Lethal with 3. So not horrible penalties for either team, really, at this point in the game.
So I've been keeping. Has Be Reckless been out on the track?
I haven't seen
because Be Reckless was pivoting earlier.
Yes. I haven't seen much of Be Reckless in this game, in the second half, and that might be why, because of the high penalty count. But I think Be Reckless might be coming out this next jam. Maybe not.
I mean, when I coach, I kind of do play until you're done.
Basically, I mean,
you're
going to play until you can't play anymore. I mean,
because every team should be training that if they only have 3 people on the track, they can still handle
especially at the junior level, because you want to get these skaters as much game experience as you can. So even if they are kind of high in a penalty count, they need to go out there and be able to learn how to skate with a high penalty count. It makes you more cautious. Yeah. And you don't play as loose, because, which can be a negative in a way. But
I'll be right back.
We're going to get our official review. All right, we're looking for a track cut call here. That was called by the Rebellion. They're looking for a track cut call against the Tulsa Jammer on the initial pass.
And a very no.
Yeah, didn't nonchalant. No, not going to get it. So basically, they're going to lose that review. So Rebellion will lose their review for the remainder of the game. So neither team will have their review available.
Yeah. And again, at this time, get your team an extended break.
No. We have Tulsa with 2 timeouts left and Rebellion with 1. As we're lined up here for jam number 21. Soupy whistle. They didn't go this time. Good job.
You're right.
Good job.
Almost.
A couple of them leaned into it. I saw that.
And we are going to start with a power jam for Tulsa.
We are.
That's
and
Harley
I believe
Quinn.
that is Harley Quinn, yes, jamming Lucky Devil in the penalty box.
Approaching tentatively.
And Harley Quinn jumps through the pack and moves through the middle of the field. Lead jammer does go to Tulsa. Tulsa knocking on the door at 200 here, 197. And now with Harley Quinn looking to get some points on the board, she gets right on by, and there's that 200 mark for you.
There is that offense by Princess Payne that helped clear that inside line.
And Harley Quinn took it and just skated right on by. And now Rolling Rebellion trying to set up shop in the front. Jack from Skate Farm turns around and leans into the block. But nice Lucky Devil out of nowhere flying to that pack for her initial. Ooh.
That is the kind of speed that I love to see. From anyone. Yeah. I don't care what your age is.
That jam was called off. 8 points picked up by Tulsa. Gives him 2:05. Rolling Rebellion 112. Right at 5 minutes remaining on the game clock.
Got two braids going to come back to the jam line.
And looks like Leapard will return to the jam line for the Rebellion. This time Leapard, can't really hide, but there she goes.
There
she
we
goes.
go.
Gets low. And now 2 chains to the front. Really pushing through, and Lee Jammer does go to two braids. He wants to say 2 chains. I get the name, but I can't say 2 chains.
I know.
But
Get a multiplayer block, sending number 27, our friend Troublemaker, to the penalty box.
And looks like initial pass made by Leapard.
And now we are going to have a cut track go to 2 braids.
So Leapard now with a power jam for the Rebellion.
I'm pretty sure this is Leopard's 3rd power jam opportunity.
I believe so. So looking through it now, Leapard going to try to find a line on the inside. Nice opening there, trying to skate through, but the pack keeps moving. Her pivot trying to keep that lane clear. But Leapard able to get through on the inside, picks up 4 points. So credit to the pivot there for the Rebellion, trying to keep that inside lane clear for her jammer. And now Leapard goes to the outside once again, finds a lane. But gets the door
she
shut.
forgot that she was not the jammer. Luckily, you still need to. Smasher wasn't looking, so
turn back around and gets back into
figured
a
it
blocking
out.
spot. There you go. 2 braids back into play for Tulsa. Breaks through the pack, makes a scoring pass for 4 points. And we don't have a lead jammer yet, and we're not going to have one.
I don't think we have
We're
one.
going to go the full 2.
Yep, 2 braids had been designated.
Yes.
And lost lead.
So 2 braids through on the inside for another scoring pass, picks up 4 points. Leapard getting locked up in the back of that pack, waiting for a direction block. There it is on number 27, Troublemaker. So a little bit of that 930 direction motion on the block, and that's going to get you a multi direction every time.
Yeah, you also in juniors sometimes body differences and body types make a big difference.
That's true.
A hit like that on number 5 or on Jack from State Farm might not have resulted in direction of gameplay.
Lots of bodies hitting the floor here in turn 3. Jam is called off. 4 more points rung up for Leapard.
Lex hit the ground, and I saw her go, oh my God, what was that?
So it looks like 2 more points rung up for Tulsa. 10-point jam for them. 215 is their score. 8-point jam for the Rebellion. 120 is their score. 2:25 to go on the game clock. So we're getting down to our last maybe 1 or 2 jams.
Yep.
Possibly, depending on any stoppages or how fast these jams go.
Nitro's out there.
And that is Harley Quinn again, jamming for Tulsa. Nitro through for lead jammer. Nitro living up to her name, is like firing through those packs like somebody hit that nitrous button.
Hit the pack with a little bit more speed that time, able to maintain a lot of momentum, has picked up all the points.
Harley Quinn also threw on her initial, so both jammers scoring eligible. Nitro spins, takes a spill, calls off the jam, gets the full 4 points still before doing it.
Yep.
And keeps Tulsa off the board on that jam. So 124 for Rolling Rebellion, 215 for Tulsa, 1:33 to go. So once again, our last 1 or 2 jams here coming up. Our first of 3 JRDA games here during this weekend's Clover Cup.
Yep. And we've got one more game coming up after this.
Do. The Dallas B team will take on Pikes Peak's B team. And looks like Lucky Devil jamming for the Rebellion. That is going to be Troublemaker again wearing the star for Tulsa.
Treble out for Lee Jammer again.
And Lucky Devil getting reset back in turn 1. Her blockers trying to kind of break up that Tulsa wall, but meanwhile, we've had a star pass for the Rebellion. Jack from Skate Farm going to take over that jammer role.
I have totally been saying Jack from State Farm, by the way. I just realized it's from Skate Farm, which is way funnier. And there is an illegal contact penalty.
Who against
our jammer.
Against Troublemaker. So now Jack from Skate Farm on a power jam.
So Blonde Bomber took Jack out. Ooh, we got a back direction of gameplay.
And meanwhile,
going
4 points
13.
picked up by Jack.
Lucky Devil sitting down for that direction.
So it's a good opportunity here for the Rebellion to pick up some points here to cut that differential a little bit as we are ending the end of the period clock here.
It will be the end of the period. Yeah. We only have a couple seconds left, and
about
more than that.
44-second difference between the jam clock and the period clock. We're off the period clock. We are on jam time now. And Jack able to shoot for another 4 points. And we have a down skater in turn 1. We're going to stop the clock. And we're going to get our medics out there to check on our down skater. That is Troublemaker.
Yeah.
Kind of hope she's okay.
I don't think that we'll see another jam. There is the rule where the head ref can call if there was an unnatural end to the jam, but the period
clock had expired.
It's well beyond. It was well beyond expired.
Yeah.
So
we were on jam time. So like you said, likely we're probably going to end up calling it right here. We're going to wait for everything to hook up, and we're going to hope Troublemaker's okay.
Yeah.
That was a pretty hard hit in turn 1. Again, we wanted to remind everybody following this game, our last game of the day will be Dallas's B team versus Pikes Peak's B team. And then we'll be right back here tomorrow morning, bright and early our time, 8 a.m. Central Time.
I get to sleep in.
I do a little bit too, but not much. We hope you're going to tune in, and we thank everybody for tuning in, for watching our games. When we know we're not running an actual full live stream this weekend, but we're uploading our games as we go. So thank you for. It's almost kind of like a podcast. We're podcasting our games.
I never got the final word about whether we were uploading at the end of the day or as we went.
I'm not sure. We'll find that out shortly. Troublemaker is up and going back to her bench. We're glad to see that. We hope she's going to be okay.
Yep. And I do have to note that in that jam, Jack from State Farm had a lovely side surf through the inside line to get his last 4 points that went up on the board. And it was phenomenal, and I highly recommend you rewind the tape to watch it again.
Yes, and that's going to be our unofficial final score right now. We're waiting for the whistle to make it official, but 216 for Tulsa, 136 for Rolling Rebellion. Very fun game. I love watching the strategy put on in junior games, and both teams had a lot of very fun strategic moves and plays and structures they were trying to make in this game, but credit Tulsa for coming out and overcoming that early deficit, and then you start taking control from there for the win.
It sort of reminded me of there are some high-level teams that, like Texas Roller Girls, has a tendency to come out and sort of play with things the first few jams, and if they're down by 20 or 30 points, that's fine because they're fine-tuning, and then they turn it up from there. But Tulsa did exactly that.
And credit both teams too. Rolling Rebellion was in this. They fought hard through the whole game. It was very fun to watch these games. We'll see both of these teams again later on in the weekend.
Yes.
So that'll wrap us up here on this game. We will bid you adieu.
Yes, thank you for listening.
Yes. She's Mary Chaos.
I am.
I'm P. Armageddon.
Yep.
And we'll see you later.
Peace.
Bye.